Hello and welcome to another tutorial with Roaring Records. Okay, this tutorial may be a little longer than previous tutorials. There's a lot of information here. If you already feel comfortable using your EXS24 sampler, this is probably not a tutorial that you want to watch. If you've never used an EXS24 sampler in Logic, this is something you might find pretty interesting. We're going to do several different things right here, and hopefully you're going to dig it. And in the end, we'll come out with something kind of cool. So let's talk about actually recording for instance, drum sample. If you're going to record a drum sample, you want a single hit on an individual drum. We're not talking about taking a loop out of another song. That's a little bit different kind of sampling, but this is just a single individual hit that we want of a specific drum. So I'm going to create another audio track right here. So that we have two. And I'm going to come down here on this track and I'm going to record me actually hitting my chest with my hand so that we can get an emulated drum sample, because I don't really want to have the studio entirely rigged up right now. So here we go. This will be me recording in just an individual drum hit. Okay, so what was important about that? One, I waited till it was fully recording. I did the hit. And two, you had to wait till all the sound in the actual recording went silent. So let's go back and actually let's listen to this right quick. Not particularly loud, but we can push it up a little bit. So you can hear a little more now. If we wanted to, we could add some gain to it. Wrong one to add gain to. You can see we definitely peaked out right there, so that was way too much gain. Let's try that again. Still about 1.9 too much. That's fair. Now there's all sorts of other things you could do. You could add a little EQ to get a little more thump out of it. We might spike again. Just going to play around with the EQ a few times. Okay, now we're going to say that that's our drum sample. Say it was a kick drum, whatever. I'm totally happy. We're going to pretend that I'm totally happy with that. What do I want to do now? Well, first of all, I want to trim it just a little bit because there's a mouse click in it, and I think that's weird. And second, I want to trim to the front edge of it because I don't want later all this front edge information. So I'm going to use my marquee tool by coming down to the bottom half of this. I'm going to click and drag, and then use the delete key on my keyboard to get rid of that. Now I would zoom in as much as you can to really be specific about, like, hey, I don't want any extra space. I want this to be as rhythmic of an event as I possibly can. When I'm perfectly happy, I right click on that and I like to bounce it in place. And that creates a version that is fully the same. It's exactly the same as what all your effects and everything were applied. So you can actually see it. So let's listen to it now. So that gives us a nice little thumpy kind of kick drum sounding thing. And you can, if you want to, you can get rid of this other audio track where your original one was. I'm going to click on it and delete it. So now I just have my little sound right here. Now, you would hopefully have gone through and done this for all of your different tracks. I'm actually going to use some pre-made sounds right here. So here are a set of different sounds. You can see the longer ones are cymbals, the shorter ones are individual hits. But I want to make an actual MIDI instrument that uses these now. So these are my fully processed sounds. I'm going to draw a box around all of them to select them all, or at least all the ones that I want in this case. Then I'm going to right click, come down to convert, and convert to a new sampler track. This is an important screen right here because it asks you where you want the trigger notes to go. So it's going to start and set a sample on each piano key based on where you tell it to start. So for a 61 key keyboard, it generally starts on C1. So I'm going to start this one on C1 just because that's pretty standard for me. Default, it comes up to C-2. You have to really work to get down to C-2 on most keyboards. That's why we keep it at C1 around here. So then I'm going to click, let's title it first. My drums, sure. Okay. Now what's just happened is it's made all these different sounds into MIDI instrument controlled sounds, and it's muted all the originals. So now if I'm on my drum kit and I use my musical typing, this way you can actually see what I'm clicking. I said that I started on C1, so I actually need to go down an octave so that I have C1. So now when I type A, that sound is me hitting my chest earlier and the recording process. And each alternate note, here's W, each alternate note, A to H with W, E, T, and Y, is now a new sound that we drug in. It's one of these sounds down here. They just put them in order. So we could actually make a little groove now. Something like that. It's possible. And you could stop there. It's possible that you could stop there and be completely happy with it. But this is where I want to dive into a little more of what's possible with this. So if you come over to your track inspector and you actually click inside your EXS24 sampler, it brings up this. It's already an instrument that's called My Drums, which is what I labeled it. But I want to use the edit button. And this button is only available to you if you have all your advanced settings on. So make sure that you've gone to Logic, Pro, Preferences, Advanced Tools, and make sure all your advanced tools are on to be able to do this. That's just a side note. Edit. So we hit the edit button. And this tells us where each sample is currently located. So right now, my untitled chest hit sample is located on C1 with a key range of C1 to C1. It's actually this button with a key range right there. Maybe I want to expand that sound. I can change what key it's located on by clicking and dragging. So I'm actually going to put it on C2. Now I'm going to take this blue box and put it on C2 to make sure that my key range is now the same as where my key is. So instead of being on the A key, it's now on the K key at C2. But I can expand the key range here to cover multiple keys. Now anything from A#1 to E2 is going to be this sound, but adjusted by half steps. So if I play K, it's my original. If I play O, it's the original up a half step. L. And then J is below. And that gets us to the different sound. So any of them can do that. You just have to adjust where you put them. Now, when you're happy with how you have this entire thing set up, you want to save the instrument. So save as the instrument. And we'll call it my drums again. And we'll hit save. And then we're going to go over here and save this sampler instrument. So one of them was saved in the sampler instruments file, and one of them was saved more in the plugin settings for EXS24. Just tells it where to look. So we're going to save that. Now, if we want to, we can go in our sound library over here and save this as my drums patch. And so now we have a user patch for my drums, and anytime we open up Logic now, if we've saved it in all the right places, which I believe that we have, you should be able to access my drums in any Logic project that you open from here on out. I hope this was helpful. It's kind of a deep dive into the EXS24 sampler, or at least how to build one from scratch. Ooh, there was one other thing I wanted to point out. If we want our cymbals to not sound like that and stop when you let go of the key, that option is here. That's called a one shot. So if I want that to not be just a like half a cymbal, I can hit one shot. That means the entire sample plays all the way through before it stops. Now, in a normal cymbal, you'll still hear the ring going underneath, and you can do that now. But the more times you press the button, the more times the sample is going to play on top of itself. So here we go. Here's a one-shot addition. I think that's pretty important for a drum set. Like, if you're really going to do that for a drum set, you probably need to have one shot turned on for all your different samples so they play to their entirety and don't sound like you're chopping them off. Another fun option is to hit the reverse, and this literally reverses the sample. Here's the cymbal reversed. So all it did was play that entire sample in absolute reverse. So maybe you want to do that, maybe you don't. Remember, if you change something here, you need to save your instrument so that it saves other places. I think that covers most of what I have to offer with this for this level. Hope you enjoy, hope it's helpful. Have a great day.